Okay. Today we are going to discuss about muscular tissues. There are four types of animal tissues: epithelial tissue, connective tissue, muscular tissue, and nervous tissue. Coming to muscular tissues, muscles are derived from mesoderm. Mesoderm. That means mesodermal in origin. All the muscles are derived from mesoderm except the muscles of iris and iris muscles and ciliary body, muscles of the ciliary body. Those are derived from ectoderm. All the muscles are derived from mesoderm except iris muscles and muscles of the ciliary body. Those are derived from ectoderm. Study of muscles is called myology. What is myology? Study of muscles is called myology. There are three types of muscles. There are skeletal muscles, smooth muscles, and cardiac muscles. Before that, whole muscle is covered by a layer called as epimysium. Epimysium. Whole muscle is covered by a layer called as epimysium. Below, inside the muscle fibers are in the form of bundles. Those are covered by perimysium. Perimysium. Each muscle fiber is covered by endomysium. Endomysium. Outermost layer is epimysium. Below the epimysium, perimysium. Below the perimysium, endomysium. There are three types of muscles. What are the three types of muscles? Skeletal muscles. Second one is smooth muscles. And third one is cardiac muscles. M means muscles. What are the three types of muscles? Skeletal muscles, smooth muscles, and cardiac muscles. Why they are called as skeletal muscles? Muscles attaches to the skeleton. Those muscles are called skeletal muscles. Skeletal muscles are striated muscles. These are striated muscles. Why they are called as striated muscles? In these muscles, actin and myosin fibers are regularly arranged. Due to the arrangement regularly arranged, these muscles contain dark and light bands. Due to the presence of dark and light bands, the name striated. Why it is called as striated muscles? Dark and light bands are present. Due to the presence of dark and light bands, the name striated. In striated muscles, actin and myosin. Actin means thin filament. Myosin filament, thick filament. Thin and thick filaments are regularly arranged. Hence the appearance dark and light. And coming to smooth muscles. Most of the smooth muscles present in the visceral organs. Hence they are also called as visceral muscles. These are unstriated muscles. Why these are called unstriated muscles? Dark and light bands are absent. Due to the absence of dark and light bands, these are unstriated muscles. Actin and myosin fibers are irregularly arranged. irregularly arranged. Due to irregular arrangement, dark and light bands are does not appear. Hence, these are called unstriated muscles. And coming to cardiac muscles are striated muscles, while actin and myosin filaments are regularly arranged. Hence, dark and light bands are present. Due to the presence of dark and light bands, these are called striated muscles. And coming to structural differences, next difference in skeletal muscles, nuclear. There are many nuclear multi-nucleate. These many nuclei, they are peripherally arranged. Nuclei are peripherally arranged. In smooth muscles, muscle fiber has only one nuclei, that is mononucleate arrangement. Mononucleate. Here multinucleate. Here mononucleate. Here mono or binucleate. Mono or binucleate. One or two nuclei present at the center of the cell. Here center of the cell. Here also center of the cell. Here peripherally arranged. Next one, skeletal muscles exhibit contraction and relaxations. Skeletal muscles contract quickly, fatigue, contract and relaxation quickly, fatigue also. Skeletal muscles contract, relaxation quickly, and fatigue also quickly. Smooth muscles contraction and relaxations are partial contraction and relaxations. These muscles undergo prolonged contractions without fatigue. That condition is called spasm. That means fatigue is very slow contraction, relaxation, and slow fatigue. Coming to cardiac muscles exhibit rhythmic contraction and relaxation. There is no fatigue. Why? Because cardiac muscles contain more number of mitochondria, myoglobin, and sufficient supply of oxygen. In that conditions, there does not exhibit fatigue. There is no fatigue. Next, coming to regenerate cells. What are the regenerate cells in skeletal muscles? Satellite cells are the regenerate cells in skeletal muscles. Here, pericytes. In smooth muscles, regenerate cells are pericytes. In cardiac muscles, no regenerate cells. Regenerate cells are absent. Next, skeletal muscle fibers or muscle cells are elongated and cylindrical cells. Smooth muscles are spindle shaped cells. Elongated, cylindrical, and unbranched. Spindle unbranched. These are cardiac muscles are branched. So branched muscle or muscle fibers are cardiac muscles. These branches forms the communication. And contraction and relaxations under the control of skeletal muscles. Contraction and relaxation under the control of somatic nervous system. contractions, relaxations under the control of somatic nervous system. Hence, skeletal muscles are called voluntary muscles. Why they are called as voluntary muscles? Muscles under the control of will of an organism is called voluntary muscles. Skeletal muscles are voluntary muscles under the control of somatic nervous system. Smooth muscles under the control of autonomous nervous system. Autonomous nervous system. Cardiac muscles under the control of autonomous nervous system and some of the hormones like epinephrine. Epinephrine. In skeletal muscles, intercalated discs are absent. Smooth muscles also absent. Intercalated discs are present in cardiac muscles. Intercalated discs, ICDS, intercalated discs are present. In coming to cardiac muscles are connected by, two cardiac muscle cells are connected by gap junctions or communication junctions or electrical synapses. These gap junctions communicate each other and also connected by intercalated discs. Gap junctions and intercalated discs are seen in cardiac muscles. Example or location: skeletal muscles. So the position of skeletal muscles, biceps muscles are muscles attached to the skeleton. Those muscles are called skeletal muscles. Location for skeletal muscles attached to the skeleton. Location for smooth muscles. Smooth muscles are seen in visceral organs like stomach, intestine, etc. Visceral organs. And coming to cardiac muscles are seen in myocardium of the wall of the heart. Wall of the heart consists of precardium, epicardium, myocardium, and endocardium. Myocardium contain what type of muscles? Cardiac muscles. Cardiac muscles act as a functional syncytium. Cardiac muscles does not under the control of any system. That means which can activate individually. The type of heart is called as auto-excitable heart. That means they act as a pacemaker. Why it is called as pacemaker? It is not under the control of any stimulus. That is about cardiac muscles. What are the three types of muscles? Skeletal muscles, smooth muscles, and cardiac muscles. All skeletal muscles are voluntary muscles, but all voluntary muscles are not skeletal muscles. All visceral muscles are smooth muscles, but all smooth muscles are not visceral muscles. All cardiac muscles are striated muscles, but all striated muscles are not cardiac muscles. Here are all skeletal muscles are striated muscles. All skeletal muscles are striated muscles, but all striated muscles are not skeletal muscles. Here, all cardiac muscles are striated, but all striated muscles are not cardiac muscles. These are the three types of muscles: skeletal muscles, smooth muscles, and cardiac muscles. Skeletal muscles are striated muscles. Cardiac muscles also striated. That means cardiac muscles are structurally similar that of skeletal muscles. Structurally similar that of striated muscles. Skeletal muscles are voluntary muscles. Smooth muscles are involuntary muscles. Cardiac muscles also involuntary muscles. Once again I repeat, skeletal muscles are voluntary muscles, smooth muscles and cardiac muscles are involuntary muscles. So cardiac muscles are involuntary. Smooth muscles also involuntary. Cardiac muscles are functionally similar at all. Functionally similar at all. Smooth muscles. Structurally similar at all. Skeletal muscles. Structurally similar that of skeletal muscles. That means homologous. Cardiac muscles are homologous to skeletal muscles. Homologous means structurally similar. Cardiac muscles are functionally similar that are smooth muscles. That means analogous. Analogous. Analogous means functionally similar. Once again repeat, cardiac muscles are homologous to the skeletal muscles and analogous to the smooth muscles. It is about muscular tissue. And coming to nervous tissue. Next, last tissue is nervous tissue or neuronal tissues. Nervous tissues are derived from ectoderm. All the nerve cells are derived from ectoderm except microglia cells. In lower class, I already explained about the structure of skeletal muscle fiber and mechanism of muscle contraction. For further details, you follow that lower classes. And coming to nervous tissue, I already explained in one episode, that is human neurology or nervous system. In that class, I already explained about nervous tissue. Nervous tissues are derived from ectoderm. Ectoderm. All the nerve cells are derived from ectoderm except microglia cells. Microglia cells are derived from the mesoderm. In that class, I already explained about structural functional unit of nervous system, that is neuron. What is the structural functional unit of nervous system? Neuron. I explained about structure of neuron and types of neurons and what are the different types of nervous systems. Nervous tissue consists of two types of cells, nerve cells or neurons and neuroglia cells. Nerve cells or neurons, types of neurons already explained. Neuroglia cells, there are two types of neuroglia cells, central nervous system, peripheral nervous system. In central nervous system, there are four types of neuroglia cells, and peripheral nervous system, there are two types of neuroglia cells. Already explained in the last class or lower class. And coming to here, I am going to discuss about nervous system. Nervous system consists of central nervous system. I already explained this one also. Outline classification of nervous system, central nervous system and peripheral nervous system. Peripheral nervous system. Peripheral nervous system. Peripheral nervous system consists of structural and functional. Structural again divided into two types, cranial nerves, spinal nerves. Functional classification of peripheral nervous system consists of somatic nervous system and autonomous nervous system. Autonomous again divided into functionally, autonomous again somatic nervous system consists of sensory and motor. This one also sensory and motor. Motor is again divided into autonomous. Motor is again divided into sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system. First of all, let us discuss about central nervous system. Central nervous system consists of brain and spinal cord. Central nervous system consists of CNS, means central nervous system, consists of brain and spinal cord. Brain and spinal cord. Central nervous system also derived from the ectoderm. Brain, in case of fishes and cyclostomata, brain is covered by single layer, that is meninx primitiva. Meninx primitiva. In general, brain is covered by a layer commonly called as meninges. In fishes and cyclostomata, brain is covered by single layer, that is meninx primitiva. Next, coming to amphibians, reptiles and birds. In amphibians, reptiles and birds, brain is covered by two layers, outer dura mater and inner pia mater. Outer dura mater and inner pia mater. In case of mammals, brain is covered by, brain is covered by three layers, commonly called as meninges. What are the three layers? Outer layer is dura mater. Middle arachnoid membrane. And innermost layer of the brain is pia mater. Between the dura mater and arachnoid membrane, a space is present. This is called subdural space. Subdural space. Below the arachnoid and here between arachnoid and pia mater, subarachnoid space. The subarachnoid space, which is filled with a fluid called as cerebrospinal fluid. Subarachnoid space is filled with cerebrospinal fluid. C. Cerebrospinal fluid. Once again I repeat. Outermost layer of the meninges is outer dura mater, middle arachnoid membrane, inner pia mater. Between dura mater and subdural arachnoid membrane, subdural space. Between arachnoid and pia mater, subarachnoid space, which is filled with cerebrospinal fluid. That is about meninges. Meninges are the layers present around the brain. And coming to brain, there are three parts of the brain: forebrain, midbrain and hindbrain. Forebrain, midbrain and hindbrain. Forebrain consists of three parts: forebrain and midbrain and hindbrain or hindbrain. Forebrain consists of olfactory lobes or bulbs, olfactory bulb, and cerebral hemispheres. Forebrain consists of olfactory bulb, cerebral hemispheres, and diencephalon. Olfactory bulb, cerebral hemispheres and diencephalon. Midbrain consists of crura cerebri and optic lobes. Hindbrain consists of cerebellum, pons varoli, and medulla oblongata. This is the outline classification of brain. Forebrain consists of olfactory bulbs, cerebral hemispheres and diencephalon. Midbrain consists of crura cerebri, optic lobes, and hindbrain consists of cerebellum, pons varoli, and medulla oblongata. Coming to first one, olfactory bulbs. Olfactory lobes or olfactory bulbs receive sensory impulses. For what? Olfaction. So what is the function of olfactory bulb? Sensitive to smell. And coming to cerebral hemispheres, there are two cerebral hemispheres. These two cerebral hemispheres together called as cerebrum. Cerebrum. Two cerebral hemispheres together called as cerebrum. It is the largest part of the brain. What is the largest part of the brain? Cerebral hemispheres are cerebrum. Coming to cerebrum or cerebral hemispheres. Hemispheres. There are two cerebral hemispheres. Two cerebral hemispheres together called as cerebrum. Two cerebral hemispheres are longitudinally separated by longitudinal fissure. These two cerebral hemispheres are internally connected by a connection called as corpus callosum. Two cerebral hemispheres are internally connected by a corpus callosum. What is the function of corpus callosum? Maintain the equilibrium between left and right cerebral hemispheres. Corpus callosum is the fundamental characters of brain of mammals. Each cerebral hemisphere has two regions. Outer region is called cortex, and inner region is called medulla. Outer cortex and inner region is called medulla. Cortex contain white matter. Medulla contain gray matter. Outer cortex and inner medulla. Outer cortex, that is gray matter. In spinal cord, outer white matter, inner gray matter. In brain, outer gray matter and inner white matter. It is quite opposite in spinal cord. So outer cortex is a gray matter. Here cell bodies, neuronal cell bodies are present. Myelin sheath is absent. Myelinated axons are absent. White matter contain myelinated axons. Due to the presence of myelinated axons, the color white matter. Here absence of gray matter, absence of myelin sheath. Cortex contain surface of the cortex is called cerebral cortex. Surface of the cerebral hemispheres is called cerebral cortex. The cerebral cortex contain foldings or convolutions and grooves. Foldings are called gyrae. So this is other folding, this one also gyrae. And there are two types of grooves. Shallow grooves are called sulci. Deep ones are called fissure. This is gyrae and sulci, and this one is fissure. This one gyrae. Cerebral cortex contain gyrae, sulci and fissures. This is the identification of evolution of brain in vertebrates. Presence of convolutions and or grooves, foldings, gyrae, sulci and fissures. In cerebral cortex, there are three regions. In cerebral cortex, there are three regions. What are the three regions in cerebral cortex? Cerebral cortex, three areas. First one is sensory area. sensory area. Sensory area receives sensory impulses. And second one is motor area. Motor area. Motor area controls the motor voluntary functions. And third one is associated area. This associated area is neither sensory nor motor. Neither sensory nor motor. Main function is communication. There are three areas: sensory area, motor area, associated area. That is about cerebral cortex. And coming to cerebral medulla contain white matter, myelin sheath. There are 4 lobes in cerebellum or cerebrum or cerebral hemispheres. What are the 4 types of lobes? Frontal lobe. And second one, parietal lobe. Frontal lobes, parietal lobes, and temporal lobes. And fourth one is frontal, parietal, and occipital lobes. Frontal, parietal, temporal, and occipital lobes. And that is about cerebral hemispheres. Cavities present in the cerebral hemispheres or cavities of the cerebral hemispheres are called first and second ventricle or paraseals or lateral ventricles. Here limbic system is present. Limbic system is equal to lower parts of the cerebral hemispheres plus amygdala plus hippocampal lobes forms the limbic system. Limbic system consists of cerebral hemispheres, amygdala, hippocampal lobes. What is the function of limbic system? Along with the hypothalamus controls the sexual behavior and emotions. What is the function of limbic system? Controls the sexual behavior and emotions. That is about cerebral hemispheres. And coming to next one, diencephalon. Forebrain consists of olfactory bulb, cerebral hemispheres, and diencephalon. Diencephalon has 3 parts. First one is epithalamus. Second one, thalamus. And third one is hypothalamus. What are the 3 parts of the diencephalon? Epithalamus, thalamus, and hypothalamus. Roof of the diencephalon is epithalamus. Floor of the diencephalon is hypothalamus. Between these two, thalamus is present. Epithalamus contain a complex called as anterior choroid flexus. This flexus connect the pia mater of the brain and epithalamus. Epithalamus also contain pineal gland or body. That means dorsal side of the brain contain pineal gland. And coming to hypothalamus, below the epithalamus, hypothalamus is present. It is a communication between epi and hypothalamus. Floor of the diencephalon is called hypothalamus. Hypothalamus contain a gland called a body called as pituitary. Pituitary gland is present in hypothalamus. Pineal gland is present in epithalamus. Hypothalamus also contain neurosecretory cells. These neurosecretory cells secretes neurosecretory hormones or hypothalamic hormones. Hypothalamic hormones. That is about hypothalamus. What is the function of hypothalamus? Hypothalamus controls the almost all thermostat organ. Thermoregulatory, osmoregulatory, thirst, etc. That is about diencephalon. Cavity of in diencephalon, cavity is present that is called diastole. Diastole or third ventricle. Cavity of the diencephalon is called diastole or third ventricle. And coming to midbrain, midbrain consists of two parts, crura cerebri and midbrain consists of two parts, crura cerebri and optic lobes. Optic lobes. Crura cerebri is the connection between cerebral hemispheres or forebrain and pons valuoli. Crura cerebri and pons valuoli. Crura cerebri is the connection between forebrain and hindbrain. Simple forebrain and hindbrains are connected by crura cerebri. There are four optic lobes. Due to the presence of four optic lobes, the name corpora quadrigemina. Why it is called as corpora quadrigemina? Due to the presence of four optic lobes. There are four optic lobes. Superior optic lobes or anterior ones are called superior colliculi. Superior colliculi for what? Vision or visual. Anterior large ones are called superior colliculi for vision or visual. Posterior ones are called inferior colliculi for what? Auditory. What is the function of inferior colliculi? Auditory in function. What is the function of superior colliculi? Visual in function. Total number of optic lobes 4 due to the presence of 4 corpora quadrigemina. In midbrain there is no cavity. A connection is present that is called as iter or aqueducta sylvius. Aqueducta sylvius. And coming to last one, hindbrain. Hindbrain consists of cerebellum. Cerebellum, also called as little brain. Cerebellum also called as little brain. It is the second largest part of the brain. What is the first largest part of the brain? Cerebral hemispheres or cerebrum. Second largest part of the brain, cerebellum, also called as little brain. And second one, pons valuoli. And third one, medulla oblongata. Cerebellum consists of a central lobe called as vermis. This is the central lobe of the cerebellum, vermis. There are two lateral lobes, anterior lobe, posterior lobe, and floccular lobes. Anterior, posterior, flocculi. Here also anterior lobe, posterior lobe, and floccular lobes. Cerebellum consists of central vermis, anterior lobes, posterior lobes, and floccular lobes. Cerebellum acts as a little brain. Cerebellum acts as a little brain. Left and right parts of the cerebellar lobes are connected by a connection called as pons valuoli. So pons valuoli is the connection between left and right parts of the cerebellar lobes. These are the cerebellar lobes. Two cerebellar lobes, left and right halves of the cerebellar lobes are connected by pons valuoli. Pons valuoli act as a Relay station. Relay station. Which one acts as relay station? Pons Varoli. Pons Varoli contain another center, pneumotoxic center. Pneumotoxic center. What is the function of pneumotoxic center? Regulation of respiratory activities. Regulation of respiratory activities. And here cerebellum also contain a tree life or tree-like structure called as arbor vitae. Arbor vitae is the tree-like structure present in the cerebellum. In hindbrain, cavity of the hindbrain is called fourth ventricle or metacele. Fourth ventricle or metacele. The largest part of the brain is medulla oblongata. This medulla oblongata extends as a spinal cord. The spinal cord passes outside through the foramen of magnum into the vertebral column. Last part of the brain is medulla oblongata. Medulla oblongata. This medulla oblongata has a cavity that is called as fourth ventricle. Fourth ventricle. What is the function of medulla oblongata? Involuntary functions. Cerebellum maintains the equilibrium. Important. What is the function of cerebellum? Maintains equilibrium. What is the function of medulla oblongata? Involuntary actions. Cerebral hemispheres, voluntary actions. Medulla oblongata, involuntary actions. That is about structure of the brain. And coming to cavities of the brain or ventricles of the brain. First one, cavity or ventricles. Ventricles, part of the brain. Cerebral hemispheres. Cavity of the cerebral hemispheres is first and second ventricles. Next, diencephalon. Diencephalon. Cavity of the diencephalon. Third ventricle or diastole. Diastole. And next one is midbrain. Midbrain. No cavity. Third ventricle or diastole. Midbrain. No cavity. Here, iter. Iter, an aqueduct of Sylvius. Hindbrain. Cavity of the hindbrain is fourth ventricle. Fourth ventricle. First and second ventricles are connected to the first and second ventricles are connected to the third ventricle through foramina. This one and this one also foramina of Monro. First and second ventricles separately connected to the third ventricle with the help of foramina of Monro. Foramina of Monro. Number of foramina of Monro is 2. 1 plus 1. Foramina of Monro. Diastole and metacele or myelocele or third and fourth ventricles are connected by iter. Fourth ventricles are connected by iter. So connection between third and fourth ventricle. Third and fourth ventricles are connected by iter or aqueduct of Sylvius. That is about ventricles or cavity of the brain. Cerebral. There are two types of fluxes, anterior choroid fluxus, posterior choroid fluxus. These fluxes filter the cerebrospinal fluid daily 4 times. This filtered cerebrospinal fluid first enter into here, for example here, first and second ventricle, from the first and second ventricle to third ventricle with the help of foramina of Monro, from the third to fourth with the help of iter. From the fourth ventricle, that is the medulla oblongata, opens into extends as a spinal cord. Cavity of the spinal cord is central canal. Central canal. Once again, cerebrospinal fluid from first and second ventricle to third to fourth through aorta, fourth to central canal of the spinal cord. That is about structure and functions of the brain. Central nervous system consists of brain and spinal cord. Coming to spinal cord. Spinal cord.